Hi, I'm Matt Manthe. I'm the founder here at Odd Breed Wild Ales in Pompano Beach. I started this company back in 2015. We opened in 2017, and we specialize in barrel-aged wild ales. So on November 19th, Saturday is my 5th anniversary party here, celebrating 5 years of having our tap room open here in Pompano. Started the brewery back in 2015 on paper, eventually signed the lease in June of 2016 after finally finding a spot that would work for the brewery here. But really excited to have been in business here for 5 years. In some ways it seems like it was just recently that I opened the brewery. Other times it feels like I've been open forever. But I'll have a lot of options for people that want to stop by and celebrate with us. I'll have an all-you-can-drink ticket option, which will be $75. It gives you unlimited draft beer from noon to 4 p.m. It also includes a bottle of our 5th anniversary ale, which is a beer that's blended from 5 different beers, each aged in French oak barrels for 1 to 4 years. Really happy with how that one came out. For people that just want to come by and maybe have 1 or 2 beers that aren't necessarily committed to staying for 4 hours, it'll still be open as usual for people that want to pay as you go or open a tab. I'm going to have Kaminari Ramen here on site, serving up their delicious food. They're my favorite food truck, great people. But I'm really looking forward to having everybody out and celebrating. So I've been brewing professionally now for 15 years. Moved to South Florida about 11 years ago. Barrel-aged wild ales are what I'm most passionate about. And so I started a brewery essentially so that I could focus on making just the style of beer that I love. Unfortunately, I've had to take on a lot of other roles at the company, so I do a little bit of everything, but making the beer is really my true passion and focus behind the project here at Odd Breed. So a lot of breweries really purposefully try to stay away from making these types of beers. I, however, have always been kind of enamored by them. I really like the challenge of making these types of beers. There are a lot more variables at play. The production process is entirely natural. I'm not adding any preservatives. I'm not adding any process aids. It's an incredibly natural beer, and I cannot legally state on my labels that the beer is a probiotic, but technically it is. It's beer that I think is incredibly complex. It's nuanced. It has a lot in common, I feel like, with fine wine. Also, the production process is similar to wine, more so than beer. I changed my major from health science to microbiology when I was 19. Shortly after that, I started homebrewing while I was in college. This was back in 2005. This predates YouTube homebrewing videos and podcasts. I didn't know of any homebrew clubs. I didn't know a single other person that homebrewed, so I was entirely self-taught as a homebrewer. I took a job at Thomas Creek Brewery in Greenville, South Carolina as an assistant brewer. Worked there for almost 3 years, eventually worked my way up to head brewer. I had experience brewing lots of styles for all these contract breweries, but they were primarily American style beers, English style beers, some Belgian style beers. I lived in Belgium for a couple of years, and that's actually what really ignited my interest in beer back when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. And it was actually when I moved to the States that I started considering brewing as an actual career. And that was mostly because at that point I was living in South Carolina. There weren't a lot of great beers available. And I fondly remember those great beers that I had in Belgium that I couldn't find anymore. And so, it kind of all came full circle as far as my interest in homebrewing started in part with being able to want to recreate these beers that I couldn't get, that I couldn't buy, that weren't available to me. After I graduated from Clemson with my microbiology degree, I had considered going immediately to brewing school. I had a few friends who told me specifically, don't go to brewing school yet. Get your boots wet in the industry. Make sure that you really like it, because it is hard work. And so that was very valuable advice for me. Being able to work in a brewery for almost 3 years, in a relatively large production brewery, brewing a variety of beer styles, it really helped me get a good solid foundation before I went to brewing school. What I found about VLB, where I ended up going to school, seemed like a perfect fit. Berlin, where the school is located, is they share resources and their campus with the Technical University of Berlin. They have multiple different programs that they teach out there, but the one that I went to is the Certified Brewmaster course, which is their longest, most in-depth program there. My Brewmaster's diploma is in malting science, brewing, and engineering. I never really wanted to open a brewery to focus on accolades or anything like that, but they're certainly nice to receive. And you know, it actually has surprised me a lot how well known my beer seems to be outside the state of Florida. I think the first notoriety that I received from outside the state anyway was mostly from Don't Drink Beers, which is a blogger, podcaster. Guy's name is Alex Kidd. He's very well regarded within the industry. One of the first beers that I released here that was really kind of off the wall. And I think I've made a lot of off-the-wall beers here. That's something that I really enjoy doing, pushing the envelope, trying to create stuff that not only I haven't tasted before, but that other people haven't tasted before either. But one of those beers that he ended up getting a hold of was a beer that I called Uppercase Poems. I made 3 different versions of this beer. They were each double barrel aged. They were each finished in different barrels. And he got a hold of some of these bottles and really liked them, and had this crazy, great review, but also very funny review of these beers that I made. And then he also reviewed some of my other beers. And in 2018, which was the first full year that I was in business, he named Odd Breed as one of the top 3 breweries in the world in Craft Beer and Brewing magazine. That was and still is one of the accolades that I'm most proud of. You know, here I'm just this tiny little brewery. I don't have assistant brewers here. I don't have a brew house. I started this brewery on basically bootstrap funds, which really mean loans from banks. And to be able to get some kind of recognition like that was not something that I had planned on or really strived towards, and that was a really cool experience. I didn't really enter many competitions, and really haven't entered many competitions until recently, but last year I received a gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival for a beer that I called Oddities and Outliers Blend 2. I'm actually getting ready to release Blend 3 at my anniversary next week. But then this year also winning 2 more awards, both bronze, but to win them in different categories than what I had won my medal in last year. It's an incredibly competitive competition, but it's a cool thing to receive those kind of accolades. I'm located here at 50 Northeast 1st Street in Pompano Beach. That's exit 36 off of 95. I'm just north of Atlantic, and I'm just east of Dixie Highway. I'm open Thursday through Sunday, so come out and visit us.